I want us to see clearly that Jesus is underscoring the value and the importance of prayer, which suggests to us that what God says about prayer is absolutely correct. In Jeremiah 33, God says, "Call unto me, and I will answer you." God is a prayer-answering God. He invites prayers, He welcomes prayers, He responds to prayers, He answers prayers. Prayer at times gets a bad rap, not because of God, or God's unwillingness, or God's inability to answer prayers. None of those things. It's we may not know the laws of prayers. And because prayer is so easy, prayer is just to ask God, we think that, well, I just ask God. And so we ask, as the scripture says, amiss. We don't get it. Because we're asking things to consume our own lustful hearts. And so there are laws concerning prayers. Now, does that mean I like the fact that prayer has principles or laws? No, I don't like it. The same way I don't like the law of gravity. I don't like the law of gravity. I want to be able to violate the law of gravity. I want to be able to get out of my house and just take my hands and flap it up and down and fly wherever I want to go around the world. If I want to go to Paris in the morning and have breakfast, I tell my wife, honey, I'll see you later on this afternoon. And I just bound up in the air like Superman and just fly over to Paris. Look at all the things I'd avoid. I'd avoid the long check-in lines at the airport. I'd avoid taking off my shoes, my belt, and any other electronic gadgets on my person. I would avoid all that because I violated the law of gravity. But guess what? I don't care who you are, you can't violate the law of gravity. It's there, period. Same with the laws of prayers. I don't care who you are, you cannot violate them. And when you do, you don't get the answers, and you get angry and blame God. It's not God. You violated the laws. The prayer of agreement, what is it? Jesus said, if two of you on earth agree about anything you ask for, my Father will do it. That word agree there in verse 19, it's an interesting Greek word. I reference Greek because the New Testament was written in Greek, the Greek language, Koine Greek, K-O-I-N-E, or classical Greek. And it's the Greek word symphoneho. Does that sound like an English word that you know? No. Yeah, absolutely correct. It's the English word symphony. So when two of you, at least two, come together and agree, it is a pleasant sound. And when you agree together about your requests, it's a pleasant sound. In fact, that's where we also get the English word concert. And that's where we get the phrase concert of prayer. It's a group of people that come together to agree in prayer, and it's a concert of prayer. That's where we get the term. Now, Jesus is telling us that when you agree together, I join you. That's pretty powerful. I don't know about you, but I want God to join me when I'm praying. That means I'm assured of the answer. So we know what an agreement is. So the prayer of agreement is really a group petition. It's where one person has a request that the group says, I affirm that request, or I assent to it, I agree to it. And so it's a group petition that's voiced to God. Let's say, for example, I'm driving my car on Green Pond Road. I'm just going through the township of Rockaway, and I see a bunch of potholes, and I'm angry. And I say, you know something? I'm going to write the local government and tell them that they need to really address these potholes. And before I write the letter and send it off under the strength of my own individual name, I begin to confer with other people. And I ask you, would you be willing to sign a petition that you agree? And let's say I gather 10,000 signatures. When I present that letter to the township officials, it's no longer under the strength of one person's name, but it's 10,000 people that says, do something about the potholes. It provides a whole new level of strength. That's what happens when we use the prayer of agreement. It is not simply one person. Oh yeah, you can pray by yourself, absolutely. The Bible calls us to do that. You can. That's one kind of prayer. But another kind is the prayer of agreement or corporate prayer. Do you see that? Jesus even used it. In fact, it was in Matthew chapter 26, the very night that he was captured to be imprisoned and then taken to the trial and then to be crucified. In Matthew 26, verse 36, 37, 38, let me tell you what happened. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane. And he said to them, sit here while I go over there and pray. He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, we know them as James and John, along with him. And he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, that is to Peter, James, and John, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Listen, stay here and keep watch with me. Now I want you to see Jesus now. Watch this. Jesus, the one who is the epitome of an intercessor, a prayer warrior, or a kneeling warrior, someone who knows how to connect with God the Father in prayer. Jesus, he solicited 3 men to help him pray. He called Peter, James, and John. Now, he had 12 disciples. He told the 9, guys, stay here. You, Peter, James, John, come with me. Keep watch with me. In other words, pray with me, agree with me in prayer. Let's use the prayer of agreement. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow. Pray with me. I want you to see, if Jesus saw the need to practice the prayer of agreement, why do you shy away from corporate times of prayer?